Hey, Beth here. Told you I broke my prescription glasses. I'm waiting for a new pair. But anyway, I want to get to some important points. Not just the paperclip and the gloves and, and the what I told you earlier about protecting yourself. But I want to talk about the alley rats. Okay, let me tell you something. The alley rats are these young kids that right. Excuse me. I like old music. These alley rats are kids that ride a bike down through your alley, and then they go 2 blocks down, and somebody gives them $5 or $10, and they tell them what's in your garage, and then 2 weeks later they come and break and entering and steal your stuff. All right? Back in the day, there was a big U-Haul truck on 6th Street, okay? And I won't say the exact location because I don't want to embarrass any cops that were working back then. But anyway, there was a big U-Haul truck parked out there out front on 6th Street. And so we had so many thefts in that like 2 mile radius of mowers and weed eaters and leaf blowers and four-wheelers, right? Couldn't find them. Well, after about 2 weeks and that U-Haul sitting out front, I put a ticket on it for sitting out there. You know, if you park your car out in front of your house and a cop comes by and marks it with a piece of chalk like they did back in the day, all you got to do is move it 5 inches forward or 5 inches back and they can't give you a ticket, okay? But anyway, let's get back to the U-Haul truck. So if anybody sees a U-Haul going down the highway, they are not going to think anything about it, right? See a U-Haul parked out front of somebody's house? Somebody's moving in. I'm telling you what, you need to be aware of your surroundings because every single thing out of that 4 block radius that these breaking and entering and these thieves, due to the alley rats going down on bicycles in the alley and telling them what was in people's garages, they had ramps. And they would do it in the middle of the night and pull all of those things in that U-Haul and parked it right on 6th Street. So on midnights, yes, I'm going to say it. On midnights, certain officers, when I worked, liked to watch porn. I think they thought, because I was the only woman, I think they thought if we watch porn, that'll make her stay out there all night long. Well, it did. It did. But I caught more criminals than they did because they were sitting at the station watching porn, right? Who cares, right? Who cares? Tax dollars at work. Your tax dollars at work. Cops are sitting at the station watching porn. If you don't think that don't still happen when they got a locked police department now and you see all the cruisers out front, out back, what are you people thinking, man? Think about it. Think about it. So anyway, I'm going to go over some, like I said, on the journal thing. And the floaters, you got to watch out for them. They're usually a kid on a young bike. And if they stop behind your alley, if they stop behind your garage and act like they're on the phone or act like they're taking a drink of water, they're observing what's in your garage, okay? They're observing what's in your garage. Okay, so let's see what else I got here. Yeah, the U-Haul thing. Once I put a ticket on it, and boom, 2 days later it was gone. IPD ever find out about those four-wheelers and the mowers I doubt it. And then I'll be talking about 1740 Phillips. If anybody knows about that story, I'll be going in depth about that. So if you see a U-Haul parked out in front of your house for several days or weeks or months, call the authorities and say, look, it's kind of suspicious as there is a U-Haul parked out on the block here. And I don't know what's going on. That's your right to call and ask what's going on. Oh my God, people, please. Then I'll be talking about, and I always say we'll be talking about it, but I will. Oh my God, this whole thing with Trump and Biden. And, war makes money. And there you go. War makes money. War, you profit from war because after you bomb a country, you can go back over there all Americans and rebuild it. Now, how many Americans have went over there to do that and profit off of it and been killed or hanged by in a bridge or head cut off? See what I'm saying, people? Money. Money, money, money. I'll be talking about the grand jury and who picks the grand jury and who's allowed to be on the grand jury and who determines what the members on the grand jury think what is law. You understand what I'm saying? You get registered voters to be on the grand jury, right? They don't know the law. They interpret the law from what the prosecutor tells them to. Okay, if he says something negative about the defendant or the victim or the suspect, they're going to believe him because they're just registered voters. They want to get it over with. They don't want to do that. Excuse me. That's why. That's the process, right? And then now you have the jurors in the Trump situation. And that's all a big pickle, isn't it? So I'm going to be going on about that, yes, and also be talking about district attorneys. District attorneys. Mutual misconception, I'll be talking about that. Disdain, I'll be talking about that. And I'm going to be doing the journal thing. Let's see here, what we got. Oh, I like this. I like this song too. I like this. I don't know who said it. The distance you kept during my struggle, I'm going to need you to double it during my successes. If the shoe fits, wear it, Cinderella. Okay. I'll be talking about immunity. I'll be talking about. I already talked about the shrink, but I'll be going back through my journals and just for fun and just see what the hell I was talking about 10 years ago. But I'll be back, okay? And we'll talk more about what's going on with Iron School Board, which is crazy, atrocious things happening there. But I never wanted to run for school board. But if people are asking for my help, I will. And so I'll be also going over grants and who applies for grants, who gets the grants, where does the money go when you get grants, and who's a grant writer? How much does a grant writer get paid? How much does a grant writer get paid? Okay. Just so many things here, so many things. Also, there's a there is a crisis hotline for domestic violence through the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, right? It's on the website. But when you call it, there's no answer. There's no answer because there is no domestic violence task force anymore. There is no domestic violence shelter anymore. You know, judge or lawyers say, get a restraining order. Police officers say, get a restraining order. Well, once they tell you to get a restraining order, they've covered their ass because they told you in a statement. I told her to get a restraining order. Well, it's a piece of paper. Is it going to keep somebody from hurting you or harming you? No, it's not. And they tell you, get a CPO, civil protection order. Then you go through the hoops. You jump through all the loops and hoops. Get a civil protection order. Still, what happens? I'll be doing a whole statistic thing on Lawrence County. What happens when you get all that? Oh my God, you people! I'm not saying anything about you people. I'm just saying everybody. Listen. Oh my God, there's just so much going on here that nobody pays attention to. Just so much going on here that nobody's paid attention to. I want to also talk about dispatchers. Okay, put my reading glasses on. Okay. Now, this is wholeheartedly the truth. Dispatchers, I'm telling you what, dispatchers are invaluable in law enforcement. And now, you call 911, it's automated. Well, if you're laying there in the street dead, and you call 911, and you got to jump through the hoops to get certain people, that's a problem. That's a problem, don't you think? I mean, Dispatchers can determine what officers do on a call simply by saying on the radio, you really need to check this out. This is a serious situation. Or, it's the same old person calling again. Don't worry with it. Those two things that the dispatcher says to the officers can control what the officers do. The dispatchers are very important. They can be nice, they can be kind, but when they tell the officers over the radio, which is all private now, oh, it's just the same old woman calling. What if that woman ends up dead, beaten, raped, anything like that? You guys need to get your shit together. You really do. You really do, because I'm telling you what, this whole system here in Lawrence County and in Ohio, period, up north, whatever, I had to call the FBI in Cleveland because I called the FBI in Portsmouth, and once I said who I was, they hung up on me. And yes, I recorded the conversation. And so, I'm protected. Oh, God, I love this song. Old school. But I'm telling you what, all this stuff with the courts and the judges and the lawyers and the bail bondsmen and the jailers and the deputies and the cops, I'm telling you what, if you guys don't care about what's going on, you just sit back and say, well, it's not going to happen to me. You don't know what's going to happen to your grandchild, your grandson, your granddaughter. You don't know what's going to happen, do you? And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when it happens to you? Back to blue until it happens to you. And you can call me bitter or whatever you want to call me. I don't give a shit. But I'm saying, you need to watch out for everything. You need to protect your property. You need to protect your family. You need to protect your rights. You need to know your rights. You need to, whenever you get pulled over by the police, you don't have to tell them where you're going or where you've been. Where are you going? Well, don't answer them. Where you been? Don't answer them. I don't have to answer you. Why did you pull me over? Right? Now, all of a sudden, the big thing is something hanging from your rearview mirror. Man, back when I was a cop, we had shit hanging from our rearview mirror in the cruiser. That's just, they can't find anything other than the simplest things, like a license plate light out. Yeah, you can get somebody on DUI. So if you're out drinking and driving, make sure your license plate light's on, because they'll pull you over for that, and that'll be a probable cause, and they'll arrest you and take you to jail. Okay? Yes, you can get arrested for being drunk and asleep in your car if your key's in the ignition. Take your keys out, boom, they can't do anything. Okay? Remember, paperclip, gloves, duct tape. Okay? I'll be back with some more informative information in a little bit. Beth Riss. God bless.